think it's important to understand that unsubscribes, while they are like a negative action that's being taken by your recipient, they are, dare I say, a good thing, because that means that the person didn't mark your email as spam, which is something to celebrate, right? Like that is so much more damaging to your deliverability. So there's that, but then also those elevated spam unsubscribe rates do indicate that some of the audience doesn't like the mail that you're sending. So it's kind of tipping you off to this potential issue that could turn into a spam complaint problem if you don't kind of tweak your content or your segmentation a little bit. So I think it's one of those, it's really powerful data, make that unsubscribe process easy. But in my mind, it doesn't really make a huge difference in the actual deliverability. I will say that usually I try to tell people to keep their unsubscribes below like a 0.65%, but really that's because you're trying to watch that over time and say, are they elevated? Like if you typically have like, let's say a 0.4% unsubscribe rate, and then all of a sudden it's 1% for a certain campaign, take a look at that. Like, was the targeting different? Was the content really aggressive or really vague compared to something else that you're doing? So I think it's really just understanding what to do with that information. But yeah, I guess Lily, what's your take on this one?
Obviously unsubscribes are better than spam because it indicates a couple of things. One, they felt there's enough trust between not all recipients, but some recipients where they feel like they could actually go to your website and unsubscribe, assuming they don't get an automatic unsubscribe in the app, which some do, some, whatever your mail client is, some do, some don't. So it shows a trust that they're willing to interact in that way. Better even if you have a preferences center, so that people are like, you know what, like they used to be more basic, but they're much more helpful now. It's like, you know what, I want to hear when something really big happens, or I want every 30 days or once a week or whatever it is. I think that gives people a chance to stay. And I think you should pay attention to that. So people not unsubscribing isn't necessarily a good thing, because if they don't feel good about unsubscribing, then they will mark it as spam, or you should see it as a signal that maybe people are just worn out. So if you see a bunch of unsubscribes to a campaign, and don't just look at that one, maybe look a little bit before and see. And that's kind of like, to everyone's demeanor's point, is the product cycle. What was the cycle of this customer? What were they receiving before? What are they receiving now? And it isn't this thing that necessarily tipped the balance, but they definitely weren't feeling like they want to get it anymore. They're just worn out. So I see it as a good thing, and then leave them alone. You know what I mean? Like, that's it, we're done. If they want, I've unsubscribed from things and then I went back and resubscribed later. That's a different issue. Sometimes that doesn't work, but I think everybody struggles with that. But I definitely think it's better than someone marking it as spam, which to me shows they don't trust you.